Thank you for your interest in being an immPACC facilitator. In this short video, I want to give you a quick overview of what immPACC facilitation means and what the training's all about. You probably have a bunch of questions, like how do I become an immPACC facilitator? How does immPACC work? And what supports do I get after training? I'm going to try to cover all three of those today. Why do we need immPACC mapping and why should it work? Well, it's built on a number of different foundations. It's built on our own primary and community care mapping, PACC mapping, which was developed before the pandemic even. And that is built on a number of design methods, co-creation methods to foster engagement. And we know when communities are engaged and we can leverage our local experience and our local evidence, that change is more likely to occur that's effective. So it's leveraging that local experience, using design thinking methods to really try to engage people in co-creation of improvements to the challenges we have today. This allows the diverse voices around the table to come together. And what we try to do with our mapping part of it, using the map, is that we're prototyping. We're getting the group around a table to not just say what they want, but they speak it and they see that it's been heard because it gets actively put on a map. And that allows people to step back and acknowledge that they've been heard. It also creates that shared space and that shared knowledge that as everybody's voices around the table or the virtual table come together, they can see the ideas collectively come together on the map. So there's that piece, is the tangibility of it is very important. We also use the personas. And the personas do two things. They help drive the conversation, and that is really important because we are storytelling beasts, right, as humans. We can't help ourselves but try to tell stories, and we learn by telling stories. And what this method does is it helps co-tell a story across the room. Also, because these are people who need help, they have barriers, there's inequities, etc., that our natural helping instincts come into play. And so instead of being siloed in our own area, the participants then start to think about how to help Tina or Sue or Gus and look for ways to tell a better story that supports those people. And that also helps drive people going forward into solutions. So those are some of the sort of foundations of why we designed it the way we did. What does the immPACC facilitator training look like? Well, we organize it around the three stages of immPACC itself. And there are the preparation, the mapping session itself, and the feedback. We always mention a fourth stage, which is really community action, where the community is taking forward what they've learned and what they've decided in the immPACC session into action. So we want to include that, but really the work of a facilitator is the first three. Let's go over briefly what we talk about. So the immPACC training is organized in two 2-hour sessions, and we cover off all three parts of the immPACC process. In the preparation stage, we're going to teach you and talk about how to organize a session, how to assess if a community is right for an immPACC session, how to pick personas, and think about all those logistical pieces. In the mapping session itself, we're going to actually practice how to do the mapping as a co-facilitator. We're going to show you how the mapping software works, the templates that we developed for that you can use. We're also going to talk about the different kinds of roles of facilitators, and we recommend a lead facilitator and a co-facilitator, one that takes the conversation forward and talks about the personas, and the other who manages the virtual whiteboard. So you can talk about how that would work and think about yourself, which role you would fit more comfortably into. And we'll also give facilitator tips and tricks through that. And lastly, we go to the feedback stage where we're going to talk about the immPACC report, which is meant to be a very brief, short report that comes back to the community quickly shortly after the session. And we have a template to help you with that. And we'll also help you hands-on going through the template with you. So what supports do you get after training? It's an excellent question. Not only do you get a handbook, online facilitator handbook and persona library, so there's a whole toolkit for you, but you'll also get co-facilitation from us on your first session. We're trying to do as many of those as we can provincially across multiple provinces as part of this project. And you'll also get support from us through the drafting of the report and review of that afterwards from your sessions. There's also going to be, and there is, a community of practice that you can connect in with, and we encourage you to come back to that, and we'll have regular sessions to talk about things that we've learned, things that we recommend, and tips and tricks from the whole group. And then the community of practice is also an ad hoc way to connect with other facilitators, perhaps share knowledge, even share sessions and co-facilitate somebody else's if they need a hand, and vice versa. So there's lots of opportunity to collaborate that way. And also, we're here to help develop new personas. If you have a particular need in your community that you're working with, that you want to have a bespoke or tailor-made persona, we're happy to help with that as well. So lots of support after the training, not just, here are the 2 sessions, thank you, good luck, but we'll be there with you along the way. And that really summarizes the immPACC Facilitator training. I look forward to seeing you at our next one.